Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to do with it either, but I guess just leave the body in the trunk for now. Okay. See you later, bye. Hey, what's up, guys? Sam here. I can't even do that with a straight face. Hope all of you are doing well today. Staying safe, wearing a mask if you're going outside. We've got a really cool iPhone 12 leak today. Really our first look at a prototype for the device. I feel bad for the people with the hole punchers at Apple. Like every year they're like, another hole. On top of that, we have some good news for Apple, also upgrading one of the core camera components, making the lens sensor bigger for the ultra-wide camera, which is gonna bring some really needed improvements this year. So if you're looking forward to this video, breaking down the new prototype, drop a like down below. It does always help me and the channel out. And hit subscribe, and we'll all have a good time. All right, let's jump into the video. All right, broskies, this leak is a weird one. I've been doing this for 7 years, and like the runaround that we had to do to find out if this is real or not, we do know it's real now, but there's a lot of other bits and pieces that are a bit strange. So initially, this was shared on Twitter by Fudge, or at Chocobit. I really love the names. I mean, between Donglebook Pro and Chocobit, what are we gonna have? Goofy McGoober next sharing leaks? This person, however, has shared some credible things in the past, as noted by 9to5Mac, and this is when it was like, oh wow, you know, they shared it. This is something pretty interesting. And this is apparently an image from an iOS 14 build. Yeah, what? An image of the new iPhone system and an iOS 14 build? Yes, apparently there are a couple of builds floating around right now, and Max Weinbach, who has been sharing a lot of rumors, overall, they seem to be mostly true. It's sort of hard to follow, though, because there are so many bits and pieces. He says that this is from an iPad build of iOS 14, and that's where this image was found. But it turns out that Chocobit and Weinbach weren't even the first to share it, though, or the first to have intel on this. It actually came a week before yesterday when this was shared on Instagram. All right, now let's play Guess the Wild username this time. It comes courtesy of Concepts iPhone. Yet they posted this a week ago, and it wasn't picked up by anybody because there wasn't any additional context of how this was obtained. It was just like, oh, hey, here's your first look at the iPhone 12. By the way, I also make iPhone concepts, so you could see where there could be some confusion there. And while Weinbach and Fudge still maintain that this is 100% real, along with Concepts iPhone, so 3 people saying this is authentic, Donglebook Pro, who brought us that really exclusive iOS 14 leak about the wallpaper redesign area, they're saying now that they can't confirm it's 100% legitimate, but that does ring true to the prototypes and testing. So even if this isn't legitimate, it looks like what Apple's working on. That we've cleared our plates of that, let's actually jump into this image and see exactly what's new here. So there's one thing that's going to draw your eye immediately. Not only is there a little number 8 going to it, I guess talking about iPhone components here in some regard, it is the new Lidar Sensor. Now this has been long rumored. 9to5Mac has discovered code in iOS 14 that says this is coming to not only the iPhone 12 Pro, but the iPhone 12 Pro Max. We had a lot of questions about how Apple was going to put this Lidar sensor on the iPhone, and now we know. How do you make something look the most symmetrical? And we thought, you know, the camera bump on this phone looked a bit strange with like the triangle lenses. It's gotten better. It's grown on me a lot, but at first, I mean, the couple renders were pretty rough. If you don't like it immediately, that's okay. This is literally like a 2D drawing of what this is going to look like, but Apple's essentially shifted the lenses, just the right lens up, and then has moved the flash in the middle and the microphone down just a little bit. Now that's pretty smart. Put the flash in the middle so it's like most equal to all the lenses, and then you've got the microphone per usual. They just sort of slotted it in at the bottom there. Now you could be saying, no, silly, that's a 4th camera lens. How did you miss that? That's clearly, you know, Apple specifically pointing out that there's a 4th camera lens coming to the iPhone in 2020. No, it's not. There have been absolutely no rumors about a 4th camera lens coming to the iPhone this year. I'm sure in the future, at this point, you know, it probably will. But this is clearly the LiDAR sensor because also in the image, it looks pretty much exactly like the iPad Pro 2020's LiDAR sensor and how that would have been depicted. A couple of other things to note. The side button is pretty much in the exact same spot, but you can see the curvature of the iPhone does appear to be a little bit different. In fact, it looks much closer to the iPad Pro than the iPhones that we've seen in the past. I mean, this is much flatter looking. It doesn't appear to have as much of a curve. And this does corroborate what we've heard from well-known, well-respected Apple analyst who has a great track record, Min-Chi Kuo, one of our favorites, who always has given us some good tidbits. They've said for a long time now, it's going to have an iPhone 4-like design. It's going to have a stainless steel band around it, very reminiscent of the iPhone 4 design, but obviously applied to something more modern, like this iPhone right here, the iPhone 11 Pro. But again, as I said before, they could change their mind. They could go with a different prototype. This is just one that we know they're testing. What do you think about this design? I know there are a lot of people saying that the triple camera setup was ugly. Now, speaking of Apple analyst Min-Chi Ko, there's also been a report recently that I haven't covered yet about the camera setup. Now, we have no additional information on the primary or telephoto 2x lens, but on the ultra wide angle, there are some improvements coming, which is really good because without a doubt, that's the newest lens. It is the weakest link here, and the low light performance on the current iPhone 11 or 11 Pro is really bad. Pretty much any time after the sun starts to go down in the afternoon, you see immediate grain just because the size of the sensor isn't that good. Well, according to Ko, this year that is going to get better. Now, Ko says it's only coming to the top end iPhone, which would imply the iPhone 12 Pro Max, but we heard a lot of rumors last year that certain features would only be coming to the top end like iPhone 11 Pro Max, and they ended up coming to both the Pros, so I have a feeling that's what we're going to see again. The really fun ultra-wide camera this year is getting a bigger sensor, so it should help with all the graininess and noise in low light situations because hopefully it will allow more light in, and we know on this lens there's supposed to be also sensor shift stabilization coming, which is rather than optical stabilization where it's like applied to the camera lens or the camera itself, it's applied to the sensor inside. And we don't know a ton about what that's going to look like or the exact advantages, but it's supposed to be better than the optical stabilization that is sort of the standard now. Aside from this, the only other iPhone 12 news has been about when it's gonna come. Oh my gosh. The Apple community is falling apart over release dates lately. And it doesn't even matter. Like, it's gonna come. So let's just take a chill from the release dates. Let's say, for all intents and purposes, right now, it's still gonna be coming in the fall. That's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, learn something new, drop a like down below to seriously help me, my heart, and the channel out. And hit subscribe so you stay up to date on the latest Apple news. I'm Sam. Catch you all in my next video. Stay safe out there.